a hierophant of the bodiless secrecy, interned in an unseen spiritual sheath, the will that pushes sense beyond its scope to feel the light and joy intangible, have found its way into the ineffable peace, have captured a sealed sweetness of desire that yearned from a bosom of mysterious bliss, have manifested veiled reality. So in this canto of the book of the Traveler of the Worlds, which is Canto 6 in Book 2, we are in the kingdoms and godheads of the greater life. We are seeing this hierophant, and I guess hierophant here is, I don't know the exact definition, but I can get it. Okay, hierophant. A hierophant is a priest in ancient Greece. It's a chief priest of the Eleusinian mysteries. And it can also be someone who is an advocate or maintains a cause or proposition or proposal. But here it's more this idea of the sacredness. So I would say that it's the hierophant, the chief priest of the bodiless secrecy. It is interned in an unseen spiritual sheath. So we can't really see it. And we can see it if we can rise to the second level of the worlds of spiritual experience, beginning with the higher mind, and perhaps going into the illumined or intuitive mind. So it's interned in an unseen spiritual sheath. What is it? It's the will, capital W, that pushes sense beyond its scope. So our sense mind, of course, is in that lower hemisphere of body, life, and mind. And its scope is very, very narrow. Everything is duality. There's pain, there's grief, there's suffering. So this will pushes sense beyond its scope. Why? So that it could feel the light and joy intangible. It's not something that we can touch, but we can feel it. We can feel this light, we can feel this joy. And now we have these words beginning with have, 3 out of 4 lines. Have found its way into the ineffable peace. The ineffable is the divine. Have captured a sealed sweetness of desire that yearned from a bosom of mysterious bliss, have manifested veiled reality. We have to keep in mind that we are in this particular realm, and this is what we are seeing of that realm. We're seeing that this hierophant of the bodiless secrecy is interned somehow in an unseen spiritual sheath. We know what a sheath is. And this will, capital will, so important, that pushes sense beyond its scope to feel the light and joy intangible, have found its way into the ineffable peace, have captured a sealed sweetness of desire that yearned from a bosom of mysterious bliss, have manifested veiled reality. So in this realm, these things are only possibilities. They're only half finding their way, capturing, manifesting these various very important aspects of the light and the joy and the ineffable peace and the sweetness of desire and the mysterious bliss. A soul not wrapped into its cloak of mind could glimpse the true sense of a world of forms. Now, there is the possibility of a soul that is not wrapped into its cloak of mind. Cloak of mind, how about that? Could glimpse the true sense of a world of forms. So we're not in that world of forms yet. It would like to be. This plane would very much like to be in this world of forms. But it's not yet. It could glimpse that true sense of that world, illumined by a vision in the thought, upbuoyed by the heart's understanding flame. It could hold in the conscious ether of the spirit the divinity of a symbol universe, not an actual universe, a symbol universe, but still it's a divinity in that universe. Now, we have to look here. It's very important. It can be lifted up, upbuoyed by the heart's understanding flame. It can hold even the conscious ether of the spirit. Now, this word ether is something that science has not been able to accept as yet. They can accept the senses, certainly. They can accept all that the physical senses can display, but they are not aware of the ether. It could hold in the conscious ether of the spirit, the divinity of a symbol universe. So it is making progress. We can't say that this is a plane that makes no progress at all, because it does. This realm inspires us. That's all right. This realm inspires us with our vaster hopes. Its forces have made landings on our globe. And this is extremely important because these, we call them extraterrestrial forces. We can call them what we want, aliens, but they are from higher universes, but they would like to connect with Earth because they see that Earth is the only place in the universe where evolution towards the highest supermind is taking place. And that evolution has occurred for millennials, millennial after millennial. This realm inspires us with our vaster hopes. Its forces have made landings on our globe. Its signs have traced their pattern in our lives. I think I might have told you about the plane that came over Nevada to their testing site and destroyed the most perfect weapon ever conceived that could take control of a country without killing the people, but just taking total control by its power. And the people would accept that. It destroyed this formation, and at the same time, another plane, or whatever we call them now, went over Russia, and Russia had designed the same exact machine, and they destroyed it also. So these forces that have made landings on our globe, their signs have traced the pattern in our lives. It lends a sovereign movement to our fate. Its errant waves motive our life's high surge. All that we seek for is prefigured there, and all we have not known nor ever sought, which yet one day must be born in human hearts, that the timeless may fulfill itself in things. What a magnificent passage. So we see that on this plane of existence, this book of the traveler of the world, Sri Aurobindo, is seeing so many things. He's seeing the interaction of spaceships, aliens, lives that are higher, more evolved than ours, but not evolutionary, have traced their pattern in our lives. And that those errant lends a sovereign movement to our fate. Its errant waves motive our life's high surge. To motive something is to move it. We have motives in music also. And they move with a definite melody throughout a piece. All that we seek for is prefigured there. Now that's very interesting, because what we are seeking for, we like to call it the divine, or the divine grace, or the Lord, whatever we are seeking. But all that we seek for is prefigured. It's already there. But all that we have not known nor ever sought also is there. And yet one day it has to be born in human hearts, that the timeless may fulfill itself in things. Vladimir, can you add some of this from the Vedas, because there's a lot here that's such importance.
Most probably those UFOs which we know, and all those phenomena of those typal worlds, which we consider to be as gods, or semi-gods, or those creatures who visited Earth from the immemorial times in Egypt and India, and have different names, and most probably these relations with typal beings. Sri Aurobindo beautifully describes this in his diary, his visions of the beginning of human race, when these typal beings came on Earth.
Yes.
They were lofty, and you remember that description in the Mother's India.
Yes.
It was published in the Mother India.
Yes.
So there is some mysterious beginning of our race, of our human race also. We have some interaction with these typal beings, and we are the result of that kind of merging them together or coming together.
Thank you. Incarnate in the mystery of the days, eternal in an unclosed infinite, a mounting, endless possibility climbs high upon a topless ladder of dream, forever in the being's conscious trance. Now we are getting the word ladder. In fact, it occurs in two of these three sentences. So this eternal, in an unclosed infinite, totally open infinite, wide open infinite, is incarnate, has manifested in the mystery of the days. And what else has happened? A mounting, endless possibility climbs high upon a topless ladder of dream, forever in the being's conscious trance. So we have a conscious trance in the being. Being here, capital B, the soul or the psychic being, as you wish. All on that ladder mounts to an unseen end. Because at this point, we don't know the end. We don't have any idea of it as yet. We feel that we are moving towards the conquest of death, the establishment of a life of bliss on earth, the filling of the world with divine love. But these are still only thoughts in our souls. When I questioned Ranganathan on whether the whole world would become supermental, he said, absolutely not. He said the world of plants and animals is not going to become supermental, although they will progress in the evolution. The world of 99% of humanity is not going to become supermental. There's going to be a small grouping of supermental beings. And as there are groupings of mental beings and submental beings. So don't think that the supermind is going to make the whole earth a life divine. It's going to bring a life divine to the earth, but only to those who are ready for it. And that is the symbolic meaning for me of Mother's being on that ship. When she sees some beings who are ready and they can get off the ship, and when she sees others that, they were colored orange, by the way. Others were partially orange, and they had to go back for a while to improve on their evolution. An energy of perpetual transience makes the journey from which no return is sure. And what is it? The pilgrimage of nature to the unknown. Oh my gosh. So we have this pilgrimage of nature to the unknown. It's an energy, and it's transient energy, but it's perpetual. And it does make this journey from which no return is sure. Now, that's an interesting line, a very, very interesting line for me, because we see that very often realized souls, such as Buddha, Advaita, all of these souls are very happy to merge permanently in the divine. They don't have to come back to earth, and they don't want to come back to earth, which is full of duality, pain, passion. And so it is only Sri Aurobindo, for the first time, who has told us that once you attain that height, then come back and make the earth divine. It's so important. So I think we've got a little time yet. So the pilgrimage of nature to the unknown. The unknown is only unknown because we are not yet able to know it. And we'll have to learn to know it. So I guess I have to go to the next page, 76. Just a moment, please. As if in her ascent to her lost source, writing is too small here, she hoped to unroll all that could ever be. Her high procession moves from stage to stage, a progress leap from sight to greater sight, a process march from form to ampler form, a caravan of the inexhaustible, the formations of a boundless thought and force. Okay, and we'll end there. As if, Sri Aurobindo likes to use as if. He never or very rarely tells us it is exactly like this. But now he's giving us a symbol, and we have to try to understand that symbol. As if in her ascent to her lost source, she hoped to unroll all that could ever be. Her high procession moves from stage to stage, a progress leap from sight to greater sight, a process march from form to ampler form. Process here is a continuous action or a series of changes taking place in a definite manner. A caravan of the inexhaustible. It's something that's a procession or a train likened to a caravan. Formations of a boundless thought and force. And I'll end with a few lines on the word thought. Sri Aurobindo says, in the Life Divine, thought in itself, in its origin on the higher levels of consciousness, is a perception, a cognitive seizing of the object or of some truth of things, which is a powerful but still a minor and secondary result of spiritual vision. A comparatively external and superficial regard of the self upon the self, the subject upon itself, or something of itself as object. So the thought is an arrow that is shot at the truth. It can hit a point, but not cover the whole target. Then he says humorously, but the archer is too well satisfied with his success to ask anything farther. That's from the essays Divine and Human. So it's time for a reader, and I see only one person up there, and that is Sandra. So may I ask you, Sandra, to read?
A hierophant of the bodiless secrecy, interned in an unseen spiritual sheath, the will that pushes beyond its scope to feel
the will that pushes sense.
The will that pushes sense beyond its scope to feel the light and joy intangible, half found its way into the ineffable's peace, yet half captured a sealed sweetness of desire that yearned from a bosom of mysterious bliss, half manifested veiled reality. A soul not wrapped into its cloak of mind could glimpse the true sense of world of forms, illumined by a vision in the thought, upbuoyed by the heart's understanding flame. It could hold in the conscious ether of the spirit the divinity of a symbol universe. This realm inspired us with our vaster hopes.
Inspires. Present tense.
This force inspires us with our vaster hopes. Its forces have made landings on our globe. Its signs have stamped their patterns on our lives.
Do you have stamped? Do you have the word stamped?
Yeah.
That's interesting because I have the word traced.
This is an old.
Ah, okay, got it.
This goes way back.
Okay.
Its signs have stamped their patterns on our lives. It lends a sovereign movement to our fate. Its errant waves motive our lives high surge. All that we seek for.
Lives.
All that
Life. Its errant waves motive our life's high surge.
Our life's high surge.
This is probably the difference in the books. Okay, please carry on.
All that we seek for is prefigured there, and all we have not known nor even sought, which yet one day must be born in human hearts, that the timeless may fulfill itself in things. Incarnate in the mystery of the days, eternal in the unclosed infinite, a mounting endless possibility, climbs high upon the topless ladder of dream, forever in the being's conscious trance. All on that ladder mounts to an unseen end. An energy of perpetual transience makes the journey from which no return is sure. The pilgrimage of nature to the unknown. As if in her ascent to her lost source, she hoped to unroll all that could ever be. Her high procession moves from stage to stage, a progress leap from sight to greater sight, a process march from form to ampler form, a caravan of the inexhaustible formations of a boundless thought and force.
Thank you so much. I can see that there are probably different words as we go through the different iterations of Savitri. And I prefer the 1972 version, but I believe I have the 1993 version here with me. So it's interesting to notice how the changes have occurred.
This is a 1979.
71, yeah. 79 or what?
Fifth impression, 1979.
Yeah.
And what about 1950?
Yeah, 1950 was beautiful. That's the one I have. That was the most sacred for Huta and myself and Temi. We always used that, even though there were many typographical mistakes, many reiterations of certain lines that Mother read twice. But I think a progress has been made, and I'm not too critical of the changes, but there are some that I cannot agree with. And yet Richard has shown me, when I asked questions about I had 34 questions for him, It took him 3 years, and he came to me one day and I said, I have your answers. And he actually answered everything to my satisfaction. So it was a good meeting. I'll see you all next week, and namaste.